The sun was just starting to rise, painting the sky in beautiful colors of orange and pink over the old city of Lahore. The air was still cool and fresh from the night, and you could smell jasmine flowers and freshly baked naan bread everywhere. It smelled so good. As the city slowly started to wake up, the streets became busy with people. Shopkeepers were getting their stores ready, kids were going to school, and you could hear the morning prayers from the mosques. This was Lahore, a city where history, culture, and life all mixed together like a beautiful tapestry. Lahore, the heart of Punjab, is a city that's full of life. It's a place where you can feel the history of old empires in the buildings and smell the amazing aromas of spices in the air. My trip started early in the morning, just as the city was waking up, and its energy was as strong as the call to prayer. I took a deep breath and enjoyed all the sights, sounds, and smells of this amazing city. It was time to explore Lahore's famous landmarks and discover the stories hidden within their old walls. The Badshahi Mosque, a huge building made of red sandstone and marble, stood tall against the sky. It was like a majestic reminder of how grand the Mughal Empire once was. I walked through its massive entrance and into a giant courtyard, big enough to fit thousands of people. The mosque was incredibly impressive, with its tall towers reaching for the sky. I couldn't help but notice all the incredible details. The beautiful flower patterns, the fancy writing on the walls, and the amazing tile work. It was a perfect example of Mughal architecture, showing how talented the empire's artists and builders were. I spent hours walking through its cool, echoing rooms, amazed by the skill that went into creating it so long ago. But the mosque wasn't just beautiful to look at. It was a place for prayer, peace, and quiet thinking. As I sat there, listening to the quiet prayers and feeling the warm sunlight through the arched windows, I felt really peaceful. My next stop was the Lahore Fort, a huge complex that had seen hundreds of years of history. Its strong walls made of brick and mortar had survived so much, witnessing empires rise and fall. As I walked through its maze-like passages and courtyards, I could feel the weight of history all around me. Every stone, every archway seemed to whisper stories of emperors and invaders, of love stories and sad endings, of great power and times of decline. The fort was like a history book come to life, filled with palaces, gardens, mosques, and museums, each with its own story to tell. One story in particular caught my attention. It was said that inside the fort, Emperor Shah Jahan, heartbroken after losing his beloved Mumtaz Mahal, had once seen the reflection of the Taj Mahal in a pool of water. The story, even if it might not be completely true, showed how the fort was a place of both romance and sadness. Leaving the fort, I headed to Minar-e-Pakistan, a towering monument that represented Pakistan's hard-fought independence. Standing tall in Iqbal Park, its unique petal-shaped base and soaring structure represented the nation's hopes and dreams for the future. Standing at its base, I couldn't help but feel emotional, imagining the day Pakistan's independence was declared right here. Surrounding the Minar-e-Pakistan was the vast Iqbal Park, a green oasis in the middle of the city. Families were having picnics on the grass, kids were chasing pigeons, and the air was filled with laughter and chatter. The park, named after Pakistan's national poet Allama Iqbal, showed the enduring spirit of Pakistan, a place where people from all walks of life came together to relax, enjoy themselves, and celebrate their shared heritage. You can't go to Lahore without trying its amazing food, and what better place to do that than on Food Street? This lively street, located in the heart of the old city, was a treat for all your senses. The air was filled with the smells of spices, grilling meats, and freshly baked bread. It was a meat lover's dream come true, with vendors selling everything from juicy kebabs and smoky tikkas to hearty nihari and spicy curries. I tried as many dishes as I could, and each bite was an explosion of flavor. The nihari, a slow-cooked stew, was so rich and tasty. The seekh kebabs were so tender and perfectly seasoned. But my favorite was the halwa puri, a traditional breakfast dish. The crispy puri, the sweet halwa, and the spicy chana curry. It was a perfect mix of textures and flavors that made me want more. After the excitement of Food Street, I was ready for something a little more relaxing. So I went to the Shalimar Gardens, a Mughal-era garden known for its beauty and tranquility. As I walked through the grand entrance, I was amazed by what I saw. The vast gardens were like a work of art, a perfect blend of nature and architecture. Terraced gardens, flowing waterfalls, sparkling pools, and marble pavilions, every detail was designed to create a sense of peace and harmony. I spent hours wandering through the gardens, enchanted by the sound of water flowing from fountains, and the sight of peacocks strutting across the perfectly kept lawns. The air was filled with the sweet scent of roses and jasmine, and a gentle breeze rustled through the leaves of ancient trees. It felt like a world away from the city's noise and rush, a true sanctuary of peace and beauty. As the sun began to set, I went to the Wagah border, the only road crossing between Pakistan and India. Every evening, right before sunset, they have a special ceremony where they lower the flags. It's quite a spectacle, and lots of people from both sides come to watch. The atmosphere was electric as soldiers from both countries, dressed in their impressive uniforms, marched with such precision and pride. The crowd cheered with every stomp of their boots, every swing of their arms, their voices united in patriotic chants. The ceremony was a display of military tradition, a symbol of the rivalry and the shared history between the two nations. But beyond all the showmanship, I couldn't help but feel a little bit of hope. Seeing people from both sides cheering together, brought together by a shared feeling, reminded me that even though there's political tension, there's still a deep connection between the people of India and Pakistan. As my trip to Lahore ended, I realized this city had really gotten under my skin. Lahore was a city of contrasts, a place where ancient history met modern life, where the smell of spices mixed with the scent of jasmine, where the city's noise gave way to the peacefulness of gardens. It was a city that excited your senses, fed your soul, and left a mark on your heart. Lahore wasn't just a place to visit, it was an experience, a journey of discovery that stayed with you long after you left. I left Lahore with a heart full of memories and a desire to come back someday. If you ever get the chance to visit this magical city, don't think twice. Explore its hidden gems, enjoy its delicious food, and immerse yourself in its vibrant culture. You won't regret it.